The way she talks, it sounds like the people that live in the White Sands, they are just like non-humans or something. And sinners are also like susceptible to these, feelings, because they technically are still humans. The biology is still the same. Stargazer leads you inside the shelter. All of a sudden, all the whispers around you stops. People in the shelter gather on the opposite side with their heads bowed, seemingly unwilling to communicate with you. They sneak glances at you, but once you meet their eyes, they avert their gaze. Are they afraid?
Yes, they're afraid.
Of who? Her?
Perhaps if you announce your affiliation with Quinn, they will be welcoming towards you. After all, Quinn's generosity is well known in this area.
How do you know that I'm affiliated? Well, she probably, considering how weak the fucking the fucking communications are of the MBCC, everyone knows that he's the MBCC chief. Except for like the most common person, except for that, like everyone knows that he is the MBCC chief.
Too bad you're with me.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Oh, right. From her perspective, everyone like shuns her, but he like behaves around her like normally because he's constantly surrounded by sinners, so he doesn't really look at her any differently.
It means you're affiliated with Heresy. Dispelling sandworms, traveling through sandstorms, and returning alive from the tide of ashes. There's no one who wouldn't fear such a monster.
That would actually just make me chuckle if she said that shit to me. Don't say that. I don't think you're a monster. Upon hearing your words, Stargazer chuckles.
I'm glad you're willing to speak out on my behalf. However, did you ever stop to think that perhaps you think this way because you're a monster too?
Well, it's less of a monster, more like a creation. Stargazer comes up to your ear and answers you in a hushed tone that only you can hear. Her warm breath is laced with those toxic fragrance. Oh my fuck, dude. This is like I'm reading an erotica. It's not an erotica. Oh, YouTube, it's not an erotica. I'm not reading an erotica. Just like, it just sounds like one. Because like, YouTube like gives out like fucking stern warning. I fucking put up like a resistance. That's not the right word. I disputed their claims that I uploaded like some raunchy shit. It was basically like one episode of Magium or something, and they were like, no, it was not Magium. It was a Rogue's Choice. And they said like, oh, you can't upload that. And I was like, this is literally text, and apparently you can't even upload text that is raunchy, too raunchy. A warm breath is laced with that exotic fragrance. It encircles your ears, causing you to tremble.
Don't worry. I never care what those people think of me.
The Stargazer smiles unconcernedly and turns to walk out the shelter. You turn to follow her, but a gush of whispers from the crowd stops you in your tracks.
Do you see that? The monsters from White Sands really listen to her. The monsters don't kill her. Does that mean she's a monster too?
Watch your mouth. People are listening.
Stargazer is right. These people regard her as a heretic.
Judging from your attire, you must be from this city.
An old man in rags blocks your path. Yes.
You're the first and only person I've ever met who speaks to the great Stargazer. Are you not afraid of her?
I mean, as long as she's not actively trying to kill me, I suppose I'm not. Afraid? Why?
She's often accompanied by the monsters from White Sands and can even control those monsters. And her eyes are so strange. Some say that when you look into her eyes, she will bewitch and control you.
I don't know if that's a power of hers, but she does have bewitching eyes, I will say that.
Oh, and that crystal ball she always carries around? even though her prophecies are never good. Foreseeing the future is not something anyone can do. Many say that she turns those who approach her into the monsters in White Sands.
Huh. So she's on the side of the monsters. She's the one who brought the Tide of Ashes.
Oh, here we go with the fucking fanatic shit.
Watch your mouth! Don't poke trouble with your careless words.
Let's get a thumbnail. I don't know if I got the thumbnail of the entire camp or not. He got his whole leg out.
Dear citizen, take my advice. Don't get too close to the Stargazer, or else you might also turn into a soulless monster.
Respond politely. Thank you for your kind advice. But I hope you get to know Miss Stargazer yourself before passing judgment. The old man looks at you and sighs, realizing that he can't convince you to stay away from Stargazer. He waves his hand to disperse the crowd. The shelter returns to its usual calm. You rush to catch up with Stargazer.
You're back? Heard what you wanted to hear.
Ooh, I love the fucking tarot card face, like hiding shit. Her skin color is so, like, immaculate. You know, this is one of the things that I like. Is like, I don't know, I've never been a big fan of tan line sort of things. I've always been like a fan of like a singular color. So when people are like multi-colors, that kind of throws me off. She clearly, I myself am like little multicolor. Like the bottom of my hand is like much whiter, and the top of my hand is like, yet my shoulder is super white, but like my forearm is like darker in color because of the sun and whatnot. So I'm multicolor myself, but I really like when someone is like a singular color top from bottom. That is my much preferred look. These somewhat frosty words burrow into your ears. Stargazer is still smiling, but you feel that she is a little bit guarded towards you. Answer Stargazer. I just heard a few things about you and how much you seem to like White Sands.
That's right.
I often had a recurring dream before coming to White Sands. In that dream, I stand in the middle of a white desert caught in a sandstorm, but I don't feel afraid because at the other end of the dream, a pair of hands always rescues me from the sandstorm. Hence, when the corporation wanted someone to explore White Sand for business opportunities, I volunteered to take up the job.
Dreams are the projection of reality. You are indeed special and beloved by White Sands. Though you are beloved by White Sands, will you choose it in return? Will you leave the human world?
You have no immediate answer, sink deep into thought. So what does that mean? Is she saying like, come live here? I think we have way too many responsibilities back in the city to be, abandoning all that. The sound of heavy cannon fire abruptly snaps you back to your senses. Not far away, the fleeing desert bandits have reassembled and are launching another attack on the shelter. Countless bullets and shells rain down. You subconsciously step in front of Stargazer to protect her.
Little one, are you trying to protect me? There is no need to be afraid of them at all. We will be fine. Because your companions shall come save you.
As soon as her voice falls, a black shadow zips before your eyes, destroying the desert bandit ship. Nightmare, it's Hecate.
Hey! And me!
Oh man, we should give her some money. A familiar sand ship comes into view. A petite figure leaps from it, knocking out the desert bandits trying to approach you.
Chief! Don't just stand there! Get ready to beat the crap out of these desert bandits with me!
I mean, she kind of gave away our name. Well, she said chief, but it's written our name, so I don't know if the other girl has picked up that we are the chief Munos Bureaus, whatever. She probably already knows, though. Why is there a monster right behind it? Oh, it's gonna go around like that? That's kind of weird. Easy victory. After clearing up the battlefield, Hela and Hecate wave at you from the entrance of the V710. That thing still works?
Chief, it's time for us to get on board.
They're not even gonna ask us like how did we come out alive and all that. You freeze up upon hearing Helicate calling you chief. That's what I was saying. You spin around to look at Stargazer. Her half smile makes your hair stand on end.